This is our group's presentation of The Office, created by Dominique Posada-Wilcher, Frederick Vimmen, Kevin Foley, Joshua Smith, Eric Andrade, and Ramos Jean. In our episodes of The Office, the characters are Michael Scott, who is the branch manager of Scranton branch of Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. Later in the show, he creates his own company titled Michael Scott Paper Inc., proceeding that he becomes the branch manager again for Dunder Mifflin Sabrey. He is an extrovert and uses humor to avoid most stressful situations. Dwight Schrute is the assistant to the regional manager in selling paper. He lacks typical social skills and common sense and also hates his sales partner, Jim Halpert. The two of them make a very good team. Jim Halpert is a salesman for Dunder Mifflin Sabrey and has a very, very big crush on a fellow employee named Pam, who he eventually marries. He is the most level-headed person on the show. Pam is the receptionist at Dunder Mifflin Scranton branch. She appears shy and hesitant at times, but she is very kind and has a very good sense of humor. Ryan Howard is portrayed as the young guy at the office that likes to keep up with all of the latest trends. Everyone at the office perceives him as a very attractive and knowledgeable person. Andy Bernard is a salesman at Dunder Mifflin, and he enjoys singing a cappella and playing the guitar. In our first episode, it is titled The Traveling Salesman. In episode 1, it covers 3 main topics. The topics that will be covered are focus strategy, competitive advantage, and industry competitive forces. The Office provides video evidence of vital information that relates directly to the course concepts. Through the use of the video evidence, the goal is to shine a light on all of these strategies to benefit the future manager. Being an individual manager begins with what the employees respond to. These strategies are not the best and only option to go about it, but these are reasonable ways of achieving each goal.
Sales Street. Today we are going to keep up the sales calls. Andy, since this was your idea, you get to pick first.
Well, let me think about this for a minute. Oh, I don't know. Michael Scott, PhD, Doctor of Sales.
Well, I appreciate that. That's very gracious of you.
Well, that is very gracious of you to accept.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, in this episode, the people decide to pick partners
Why are we turning
to go on sales calls.
Hey, do you mind if I take the lead on this one and then you can critique me after?
You want the lead?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Mine? Nothing would delight me more.
Hey, Pam.
You still doing that thing?
Leave the keys. I think.
In the videos, they use focus strategy, a strategy that targets a particular market segment, focusing on either cost leadership or differentiative strategy. The importance of focus strategy is finding what the customer values the most and using their values to benefit the seller. Useful in gaining a competitive advantage. Here's how they use focus strategy.
Hey, how's Andy?
Oh, she's great. This is us last year in Bermuda. Lovely place. You ever been to Bermuda? Stanley?
See, in the video, they dyed their hair and changed it up because the man's wife looks like that. Competitive advantage. The ability of a firm to win consistently over the long term in a competitive situation. How are competitive advantages created? By managing resources to provide goods and services. These resources meet the criteria. Provide superior value, rare or difficult to imitate, non-substitutable. Competitive advantage produces the sale of the business.
I appreciate what you guys are saying, but it makes more fiscal sense to go with one of the big guys. Sure, that's true. We can't compete with their prices. But let me ask you something. How important to you is customer service? Very.
Holding your call is very important to us.
One of the big guys been on hold this whole time. And this is Dunder Mifflin.
Customer service is Kelly.
Hey, Kelly, it's Jim.
Oh, yeah, Jim, how are you? So much pleasure.
Here's my card. It's got my cell number, my pager number, my home number, and my other pager number. I never take vacations. I never get sick, and I don't celebrate any major holidays. All right, I get it. We got a deal.
Thanks.
All the time.
Industry and competitive forces. 5 environmental forces that can significantly influence the performance of organizations in an industry. The 5 forces are bargaining power of suppliers, bargaining power of buyers, threat of substitutes, threat of new entrants, industry rivalry. Attempting to overcome these forces. In our second episode, it is titled Health Care. This is a picture of Dwight, the salesman, and he's quoting, "In the wild, there is no health care." Here's a clip.
What did I do? I did my job. I slashed benefits to the bone. I saved this company money. Was I too harsh? Maybe. I don't believe in coddling people. In the wild, there is no health care. In the wild, health care is, ow, I hurt my leg. I can't run. A lion eats me, and I'm dead. Well, I'm not dead.
Episode 2. Episode 2 covers many topics which include the boundedness rationality model of management decision-makings, the use of selective perception in wrong decision-making, and exploring heuristic when making important managerial decisions for a company or business. Being a good manager can include having the ability to make the right decisions above all else, because if a manager is unable to do so, then the whole foundation of a company or business will come tumbling down. We will be showing you video evidence of how the office can efficiently prove that even though the bounded rationality model framework of managing can sometimes overcome its most ineffective and keeps managers from allowing their company to reach their absolute best potential. In the episode, Michael assigns Dwight the job of picking a healthcare plan instead of doing it himself. This is a picture of Michael telling Dwight that he is going to be picking the healthcare. Dwight enjoys this task, and so he chooses an absurd plan that will affect everyone in the office. Jim and Pam are saying that this is a ridiculously awful plan. Employees of Dwight do not agree with Dwight's plan and blame Michael for not choosing it himself. Bounded rationality model. The bounded rationality model states that people usually settle for an acceptable rather than search for the best alternative to a problem. Usually it's not beneficial to a company and it is not considered good managerial decision making. Managers should choose the best option if they have the resources, or should strive to achieve the best possible outcome regardless of how hard it is to achieve. The employees want their health care plan to be revised. Dwight, who doesn't want anyone to have health care, says, "Well, I didn't say to write your name down, did I?" Dwight plans on revising, but obviously wants there to be as little change to the plan as possible. Selective perception in decision-making. Selective perception is the process of when individuals tend to perceive what they want while opposing different viewpoints or stances that oppose theirs. Most times, it is not good when applying this concept to important business decisions because a manager must consider all factors that affect their business. It allows room for errors and mistakes. Then Michael tries to make excuses and hide in order to not make the decision himself. In this picture, Pam keeps calling him, asking him when he's going to change the plan and the policy. He just says, I'm too busy, too swamped, Employing heuristic in order to satisfy. A heuristic is a form of problem solving that involves not being optimal when making a decision and choosing the sufficient means to achieve a goal. Not always helpful and can diminish the quality of a goal. Satisfying means does not always mean it is the best outcome. Minimum creation is a good for a broader understanding of goal, but it is not that beneficial to a manager or company when employing in a managerial decision making. And alternatives should be used when you absolutely cannot find another way to solving a problem. Dwight's selective perception causes him to employ the use of heuristics to finalize a not-so-great healthcare plan for everyone in the office. Michael takes no responsibility as manager. Throughout this project, we have learned many different things. We have learned how to work well with each other. This project has showed us that in group work, communication is key to success and that we all must push in to create the best final product. This will help us when we enter the world of business. During this course, we also learned good strategic planning and communication. When facing obstacles, we overcame them, which is a big part of management. Through this course, we all have grown individually as collectively, allowing us to be even better managers in the future. When looking at our project and finding episodes to base the project off of, we were able to look past the satire and find true knowledge and insight to become better in the business world. To the future students, to be successful in this class, you need to communicate and plan everything out. When picking a television show, make sure you choose one that is most interesting to you and your group, as well as fitting the criteria. Follow all the directions and be nice to your group mates. This will allow for everything to run smoothly. If you follow these instructions, you will definitely be successful in this course. The end.